Welcome back to another episode, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, DaVon. Appreciate you guys coming out to your love and support as I'm conducting a Friday night SmackDown review. As things are taking the high gear, as the storm is officially here on Friday night SmackDown, as we end up having a Friday night appearance by Jade Cargill, who made her debut, which was a phenomenal appearance. Her debut was on all cylinders, and you couldn't ask for anything better. I like the way how Hunter really put everything into detail, and that's the way how a star should be displayed and coming off her entrance. But you know exactly that Jade Gargill most definitely will be a superstar to be reckoned with when it comes to Friday. She officially signed her contract, and now she's officially on the main roster. And she left a mark when it came to the closing of Friday Night SmackDown, as so many things broke down when it came to damage control, along with Bianca Belair and Naomi, and things have set the tone when it comes to WrestleMania heading up in eventually 7 days, as we're going to see a great six-man women's tag team match being displayed from there. But I look forward to seeing how she does and how she become a powerhouse. But of course, when it comes to Bianca and Jade and Naomi, I feel like they're going to be forced to be reckoned with, and they're a powerhouse team. And I like that how they have that full lineup of having all black powerful women go into battle as they're going up against Damage Control at WrestleMania. So I look forward to seeing how that turns out. But much more happened on the card tonight. We end up having qualifying tag team matches for WrestleMania. We had the Street Profits taking on Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. We also had New Catch Republic taking on Legado Fantasma. And we also had Kevin Owens and Randy Orton in tag team action taking on Pretty Deadly. And of course, so much more happened tonight as everybody was getting involved. Video package was getting pushed out. And of course, no, there was no Roman Reigns, there was no Cody Rhodes, there was no Dwayne Rock Johnson. Nobody was involved when it came to all the drama that has been going on with the Bloodline directly. But we did have a couple Bloodline appearances as it did kick off SmackDown, as we've seen them walking in the backstage, and everything broke down from there. Which we had Paul Heyman, Solo Sikoa, and Big Jim, Jimmy Uso. They had arrived in arena, which I'm loving that nice little take when it comes to how they're making their deliverance. When it comes to each superstar, they give them a nice little touch as when they're making their appearance directly into the arena. So you couldn't ask for anything better when it came to that. But the first match to kick off Friday Night SmackDown was Kevin Owens and Randy Orton taking on Pretty Deadly, which is Elton Prince and Kid Wilson. This match started off fast and furious. It wasn't too bad whatsoever. Kilt started off basically playing this little tag or going back and forth when it came to Kevin Owens. But this match went pretty decent, was pretty quick, fast and furious, with a couple of suplexes, a couple of chain wrestling back for a couple of signatures. Randy, of course, got a couple of pops from there, and things continued to go down from there. Also, we ended up having Logan Paul appearance as well, as he came directly from there and tried to intervene himself with a couple of right hands. And basically, he was the countercoat to help him Pretty Deadly pick up the victory from the right punch. And as Elton Prince ended up pinning Kevin Owens, this match went a total of 6 minutes and 59 seconds, but it was lackluster. I feel like, from my own personal opinion, it was like a big letdown. But I would have loved to see them so much more when it comes to that. But for the looks of it, from my own personal opinion, I feel like Logan Paul probably will end up retaining the United States Championship the way I was looking. But I would love to see Randy walk out as being a new United States champion when it comes up to WrestleMania. But the feud continues to go on between those three men as WrestleMania is fully shaping up in the biggest way possible. And you never know what you're going to get when it comes to those three men put on a show at the Showcase or Immortals. But also, I don't want to take away from Pretty Deadly, who did actually get the victory. And congratulations from them as things are shaping up, as they're going to be officially now in the tag team ladder match. And so, they're going to have their little high spot of being a little comedy act, but I don't see them winning the tag team gold. And also, we don't know for officially what the rules are. Will they split the tag team titles? But I know that both titles will be officially raised up there. So I'm wondering, are they going to split them to Raw and SmackDown, or will they basically keep both titles to reveal a new championship? So we'll find out more details coming up next following week as things are breaking down with the tag team with all the teams that's being involved. But my personal pick is probably will be Awesome Truth, which have been on all cylinders to take down the Judgment Day. But the Judgment Day have so many competition and so many players on the field to basically make their mark, and a lot of them are probably looking to um, be a highlight reel when it comes to WrestleMania this following season. So I look forward to seeing what goes on when it comes to the direct tag team division. But the post match, Randy Orton started berating Kevin Owens for losing, but goes under the ring and try to find Logan Paul, but pulls him out to beat him up, and then bounces Paul face off the announcer desk, and then punches at him a few times. But Pretty Deadly makes a save, and then Logan Paul ended up throwing Orton back directly in the ring. And then, of course, Kevin Owens, Orton take them out with a stunner and an RKO, and Randy chases off Logan Paul to the back, up directly up the entrance ramp, and throw a chair at him. And Paul makes his way up the ramp and, of course, hops in his car and then hauls off from there. As that segment was somewhat okay, but based on my opinion, I feel like it was really lackluster when it came to that tag team match. I feel like it could have been a whole lot better. Just my own personal opinion, but you never know what can happen when it comes to situations from that. But from commenters that have really been pushing it out there, what they felt about that tag team match, a lot of people just was not feeling that match whatsoever. Folks are really just a little frustrated from the way how they were set up, the laziness booking on how everything was being pushed out, and that's my own personal opinion as well. I feel like it was lazy booking, and I feel like it could have been a better solution when it came to that direct match. It could have made it a little bit better spot for that, but you never know what could have happened with that directly, and I was just highly disappointed when it came to that. Um, then we switch gears over to um, the next segment, which they have back in commercial break, which it was Io Sky cutting a promo accusing Bailey of trying to steal Damage Control's heat and so many other words, and calling her an embarrassment to the company, and saying she hoped that she never sees her again after WrestleMania. And then, of course, things broke down after the interview, and then Bailey ended up attacking her on the set, and of course, throwing her into a couple of things there at the set, doing a couple of blows, beating her down from there, and then, of course, they had the backstage security try to break it up and go from there as things broke down from a backdrop, and all the camera lights and everything was falling as well. And then they basically just end the segment from there. Then they switched to Nick Aldis, the general manager for SmackDown, who was in the ring on a microphone. And he says his goal was one day was to have been the to have SmackDown be the best show around, and also have the newest signing take a giant step closer to that goal. And it's officially welcomes Jade Cargill, who came directly to the entrance. She makes her presence, and which was phenomenal. The lighting, the way how they had the little no pyro, but basically had the nice little silhouette with the spotlight directly on her. That's where it directly needs to be when it comes to spotlight. When it comes to Jade Cargill, couldn't ask for anything better. She came out in a nice little red attire, which was kind of nice with some nice shades. And then she proceeded to get on the mic, and she said that if you ask her, it's about damn time. And since that they finally put pen to paper, she wants to make herself clear that she said this is the best women's division on the roster in the world, period. And of course, the fans got behind that, was cheering and everything like that. And she said, but they're not on Jade Cargill's level, and they're not Jade Cargill, period. And because she's the headline and a once in a lifetime superstar, and that the storm has arrived. As they switch gears from there directly from the back. After that actual in-ring segment, then they hit to an interview with Dakota Kai and Damage Control. And Dakota Kai says Cargill hasn't done anything, that she's going to beat Bianca tonight. And then they go into commercial break from there. Then they come back from commercial break, and then of course they're hyping up WrestleMania and going through the whole entire package of everything that is going on with the card and all the matches that will be on the card for WrestleMania, and then of course they just doing a highlight reel. Then they switch to a segment of the back where it has Isla Dawn. She flags Nick all this down, and I talk about him about changing their music or something, and Alba pulls her away, and then things broke down from there. And of course, AJ Styles running to Nick Aldis as well, and then that same segment, and he asks if LA is going to be there, and Nick says he asks Knight to stay away, and AJ says he should have told him, and basically walks away from there. Then we get ready for the next tag team match, which is another qualifying tag team match, which was Austin Theory, Grayson Waller taking on the Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins, and Montez Ford. And of course, this match was really straight back and forth. Tag team moves were really being pushed into a good light when it came to everything that was breaking down, including the nice lariats, the high spots from Montez Ford, and things really took shape from there as they really were getting directly in from there. And then, of course, things was getting directly breaking down from there when Montez is about to do a hot tag, and then they see Bob Lashley and B-Fab laid out backstage from Karrion Kross and Scarlett, who were standing over them. Of course, they said their piece, what they were feeling directly when it comes to nobody's going to make it to WrestleMania. And then Angelo Dawkins head directly to the back to go check on him. And then Ford was still on the top, but then got caught off with a pinfall from the front. Well, he was trying to do the frog splash, but he landed on his knees and then got caught by Austin Theory from there for the victory. And things broke down from there. Then post match, after everything broke down from that tag team quick match, after being distracted, AOP came down and attacked the Street Profits, beat them down. Karrion Kross, Scarlett, and of course Paul Ellering joined them and came directly down. And then, of course, the AOP hit the Super Collider on the Profits, and Bobby Lashley came down to the ringside, but he was basically taken out by AOP, and they basically everybody was basically down when it came to the final testament as they stand tall and victorious directly over there. So we'll see what they do. Maybe add them to the pre-show when it comes to WrestleMania, or maybe they'll set up the match for next following Friday night. But we shall see how things continue to break down when it comes to this feud with the final testament, and also with the Pride when it comes to everybody involved, including Bobby Lashley, Angelo Dawson, Montez Ford, and B-Fab, as they're looking to get some redemption. But each week they're looking to look more and more like out of it. And I'm not feeling the way how they continue to display Bobby Lashley. He's supposed to be the almighty, but they pretty much keep making him feel like he's just a sourpuss and just getting beat down weekly when it comes to the final testament. Then they switch gears to a recap of Rey Mysterio versus Santos Santos Escobar. And things broke down from there as Legado Fantasma made the entrance, and then they went into a commercial break. But of course, when they came back, they were hyping up the highlight reel for this year's 2024 Hall of Fame, with everybody being added, including they haven't gone over who is going to be the main center card, who's going to be the main person that will be headlining the Hall of Fame yet. But we shall find out following this week, or maybe they'll just have it as just Paul Heyman, but we haven't got really any full details yet, as things just continue to just keep pushing each and every single week. But hopefully we get more details pretty soon. And then, of course, who's it, Santos says he hates to be the guy, but he told us that he wants us to remember and never forget that it was him who put out Rey Mysterio on the shelf for months, and he didn't get the amputation he wanted, but he got the best next thing, and he beat Rey Mysterio in the center of the ring last week. And then he's the greatest luchador, or at least he was, and it was and he was on the phone with called the man that he despised the most. And of course, Dominic Mysterio ended up coming down to an entrance. The crowd was really like giving Dominic major heat when it came to him coming out. And things broke down from there. Santos told the crowd to shut up and thank Dominic for being from the bottom of his heart. And of course, Dominic, of course, did his whole thing and apologized for seeing eye to eye at first, but he wants to say it directly to his face. And then, of course, Rey Mysterio and the LWO came out in full force. And then Rey gets on the mic and he says that he truly believes that he was He was done fighting his son, but now with the two men he despises the most in front of him, he has the opportunity to beat respecting both of them. And he challenged them to a tag team match at WrestleMania, which was kind of like odd. But I would have thought the LWO versus Legado, and Legado have a little bit more members, and maybe they put a little more pieces from there. But then he said, Rey Mysterio said that his second part is going to be Dragon Lee, which is kind of odd. Dragon Lee is kind of like the odd one because he can go both sides of the fence. And we may end up getting him as a heel, but I would love for Dragon to continue to be that strong face because he truly is a face when it comes to the WWE roster directly. And then things broke down from there as Lena was face to face, and of course ended up with face to face with Miss Lopez, and things broke down from there as everybody started brawling and fighting, and things broke down from there. And things got unsettled as things broke down from there. Then they switched gears to a backstage segment, which was Bianca Belair and Naomi, which was backstage. And Naomi basically says she wishes her well and promised to have her back and gives her a pep talk. And then they basically close out from that segment from there. And then, of course, Newcastle Republic made their entrance after the break to kick things off into high gear when it comes to hyping the crowd up and getting things ready to go. As Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate really know how to get everybody involved and go from there. And then, of course, they came back from commercial break after they made the entrance. And then Judgment, of course, they show a commercial. Judgment Days are in their clubhouse chatting about how they're frustrated that Dominic didn't tell him that he was going out there just now. And then Dom rose up and apologized and says he thinks that he needs a doctor. And of course, Damian Priest said WrestleMania is big for them as a team and as individuals. And Rhea asks if he has anything to share. Finn steps in to play a peacemaker, and they agree that no matter what they got going on, they run the show directly. Then, of course, we get ready for the tag team action, which Legado was already at ringside after the brawl out, and then the match got underway. This match was a pretty decent match, back and forth action, transitional moves, um, strong style as you can basically get it when it comes to Pete Dunne laying those finger breaking moves and everything in between, including Tyler Bate able to get that helicopter spin, and everything really just broke down from there, including the Kai Snyder quick hot tag. And then, of course, Judgment Day was watching backstage from there. And then, of course, Angel Garza broke down a couple of moves from there. He's a phenomenal superstar as well. But the Cruiserweight really took advantage of this as they broke things down. And then, of course, a couple of floats in between. And then straight into a transitional power bomb. But, of course, Newcastle Republic got the victory by picking up with the bird hamming on Angel Garza. And then they ended up qualifying for the tag team ladder match, which this match was pretty decent with a total of 7 minutes and 19 seconds, which you couldn't ask for anything better when it came to Newcastle. Really just put on a nice tag team clinic, and I really enjoyed the tag team match. Couldn't ask for anything better when it came to those boys. Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, they may be short, but they can go. They're like some miniature pit bulls that can go and put on a nice clinic when you put them in a ring, and they know how to work and be technical and push the envelope. Same when it comes to Angel Garza, and same when it comes to Humberto Carrillo. You couldn't ask for anything better when it comes to them as well. They know how to do their thing and keep us highly entertained. And I really enjoyed that tag team match when it came to them. They got to keep them in the forefront, and Rich I would love for them to get the tag team titles eventually one day as well. But we're going to switch gears back up into a new in-depth recap of The Rock and Cody Rhodes from Raw this following week, last week that took place. And of course, they go through the whole spiel. And of course, the edited, well, they didn't go to the edit, but basically an edited version of switching everything up because they want to keep the sanity out and everything still can keep it cool under the Fox banner. And then, of course, they switched to a promo directly from Paul Heyman, who was backstage. And since the final boss took Cody Rhodes out by order of the tribal chief, and Big Jimmy Uso also says Jey Uso isn't going to make it to WrestleMania because Roman Reigns has his order for Solo to take him out, and the match will take place next Friday, next week. And you know, when it comes to that, I feel like it's going to be a good banger. And Solo's still kind of in the mix. I don't know where Solo's going to be tied in. If he can eventually, just going to go with his brother. But eventually, something big is going to happen on Sunday, and we're going to see a whole lot of changes happen, and people are turning on different people. And we may see a whole lot go down when it comes to the Bloodline segment, Cody Rhodes, and other parties involved, Seth Rollins. Of course, little hints, little Easter eggs when it came. We seen Stone Cold Steve Austin and John Cena directly on the trailer side when The Rock was given the beatdown. So they gave me little hints here and there of things that possibly can happen, but I don't want to say hypothetically that's going to happen, but you never know what can happen because never say never when it comes to WWE. They know that they've been doing a phenomenal job lately, and you couldn't ask for anything better. And then we switched over to AJ Styles, who goes out for in-ring promo. And then, of course, he goes into details, as I quote. He says that it's been over a week, and he berates the fans as the reason LA Knight attacked him in his own yard, and says that he should have had him locked up, but bigger plans are in store for him, and he wants the biggest spotlight to expose him for overachieving under talented piece of trash that he is. And of course, things broke down from there. And he said, Nick all said that LA Knight is here, but Styles said he guaranteed that he is, and he calls Knight out. He doesn't come out. Of course, AJ gets fully paranoid basically, and he smacks the cameraman, double checks, and then, of course, gets up directly on the ringside, checks a little bit of security. And then, of course, as the man from the security jumped over the top, AJ stops him, and AJ unmasks him, and it's just some random guy from there. And he says he's going to be playing games at WrestleMania, and he's basically going to put his fist where his mouth is from there. But of course, then they pan over to a shot to another security who is disguised as LA Knight, who took the wig off and the glasses off. And he was trying to take his shirt off, but he didn't have enough time. But he went straight at it and attacked AJ Styles as they went into a melee brawl, and things broke down from there as LA Knight got a chair. But of course, AJ ended up running off from there as things really broke down from there. And then LA Knight tells him that at the end of the day, WrestleMania, that he knows who game this is. And then, of course, he does the normal time, LA Knights game, LA Knights game, and, his little normal slogan. And things broke down from there as they ended that segment. Then, of course, we go to a Tiffany Stratton hype reel. Tiffany Stratton, that reel was phenomenal, the way how they really put that on display for her. And she's a game changer. She could be a really great talent. I look forward to seeing how she break things down and go directly from there. Then they get ready for the main event of the night, which was Bianca Belair taking Dakota Kai. This match went pretty decent. With the distance, it was pretty decent. It went 9 minutes and 38 seconds, which wasn't too bad. It was a lot of back and forth action. With the breakdown of the match ended up going down when Dakota Kai was trying to put her into the turnbuckle, landed a couple of slingshot stomps. But of course, Bianca was fighting back and then doing a lot of reversals to control the majority of this match, and things really broke down from there. When Dakota Kai tried to hit the scorpion kick in the corner for the big boot, but of course she ended up missing. And then of course, Dakota Kai tried to counter a backbreaker rack, but got caught off. And then, of course, the ESC stepped into a knee. And then things really broke down from there as it continued to go back and forth, including a nice deadlift superplex from Bianca, which was a nice highlight spot, into the KOD for the victory for the 1-2-3 from there. And then the post-match, the Kabuki Warriors started to hit the ring, and they started putting the beat down directly on Bianca Belair. Then Naomi ran down. And they started putting the beat down on her directly, as well as land shots directly to both the ladies. And then, of course, Jade Cargill Debut hit the scene. And, of course, she came up the ramp, ran down there. Dakota Kai tried to run directly on there and got taken out. And then, of course, it was a nice little kick to Asuka. And then she hit a decent power bomb when it came to what's that? Was she hit a power bomb too? Oh, she hit it directly on Kairi Sane from there, and then on top of that, ended up picking her up for the the Jaded from there to end the show. But of course, the post match after the show went off the air, they were highlighting the fans just cheering, and then they pointed to the WrestleMania sign, which indicated that is going to be a 6-man women's tag team match, which Damage Control is going to take on Jade Cargill, Naomi, and also Bianca Belair, which is going to be a phenomenal 6-woman tag team match. But hopefully, it gets better over time as things finally break down from there each and every single week from there. But I look forward to seeing what this week is because this is the go home show for WrestleMania for Monday and Friday. Of course, don't forget to tune in this following Monday as The Rock and Roman Reigns both are going to be in the house, rocking and rolling. And I look forward to seeing what Cody's redemption is going to be. He's going to get some payback. Either if he doesn't, he probably get it on Saturday from there. But I appreciate you guys coming through and showing your love and support. Post your comments down below. Like, comment, subscribe. And of course, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.